Well, greetings. This is Pastor Carlin Hours here at First Lutheran in Pontiac. This is our common sense theology, our word of hope for today. You know, you don't hear an awful lot about suffering with Christ. There's a reason for that. It doesn't sell, and people will not flock to your mega church. It's better to say that bags of money are going to drop from the sky, or you're going to be wealthy, or you're going to have everything answered. That sounds great, and that sells pretty good. But to say the real message that Jesus talked about, he talks a whole lot more about suffering than he does about this so-called victory, everything being on the mountaintop experience. Jesus says, I must go to Jerusalem. I must die. I must be, crucified. I have to do all of these things. He says, I'm going to be betrayed. You remember, he says all that. He must be the operative word there. Bonhoeffer gives us. And then Peter says, no, not going to happen to you, Lord, not going to happen to you. What does Jesus say to Peter? Get behind me, Satan, because Peter was not willing to let Christ be Christ. And to do the things that Christ said I must do, he said, I must suffer. And just a little bit later, and boy, this don't preach, or will preach, but people don't want to hear it. Jesus says, those who will follow me, the must falls upon them. Basically, Bonhoeffer again. He says, you are going to be ridiculed. You're going to be hated because of my name's sake. And he also says, you must what? Deny yourself. Oh, nobody wants to hear about denying themselves. I want to do what I want. Give me. Oh, just give me, do what I want, Jesus. I command you, Jesus, to do it. He says, deny yourself. Take up your cross. You know where a cross leads? I told my congregations on many occasions. It leads to death. You're to die. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about the mountaintop experience. Well, that's what sells. If you want to hear the real scripture, you are to suffer with Jesus Christ. He talks a whole lot about denying yourself, taking up the cross, following him. And Jesus was a man of suffering. But actually, suffering is what leads to real life. I pray today that God would bless and keep you, and you would truly get into Scripture and realize there's a lot more about suffering in Scripture. I don't care what your favorite celebrity guy is telling you. Read the Bible. A lot about suffering. Pray today God would bless and keep you this day and always. Amen.